Hello, my name is Dave Carney, and this is called No Budget, No Problem, Bootstrapping Your Phys Ed Program with Little to No Budget. Yes, it can be done. I've done it. So this is me and Jackie Bradley Jr. He is the center fielder for the Boston Red Sox, and he is a Gold Glove winner. He is a World Series champion, and yeah, that's me with him. So who am I besides a guy standing next to Jackie Bradley Jr.? I started off in the classroom for 10 years. I just finished my 9th year of PE. I teach kindergarten through 5th grade with large groups, at least 100 to 135 or sometimes more students per class, per grade level. And more importantly, for this presentation, I've raised over $25,000 for my PE program. I think it's closer to $30,000, but I lost count. To me, I'm always striving to improve my craft for myself and my students. I always want a better program for my students. That's what I'm all about. That's what I think you can do. I know you can do for your program. So here's the big question for you. Are you ready to take the red pill? Now, if you are, you're going down the rabbit hole of working hard, doing everything you can for your students, for your program, building it up from scratch or building it up from wherever you have it now, making it better, bringing in more guests, getting more things for your students that might not have as many things. So the question is, are you ready? I hope you are. I hate this. I see this on social media sometimes. I don't see it a lot, but I see it sometimes. I don't have the budget, therefore I can't do anything with my program or can't do much. Please don't buy into this. It's not the case. Yes, I have a budget, and I will tell you that right now. My budget is $900 a year. Now, that sounds like a lot. It is not. For over 1,000 students, actually more than 1,100 students in my school, equipment is expensive, as most of you know. $900 doesn't go very far. I have to really maximize what I buy. I have to maximize my units and just the biggest bang for my buck. I mean, I have to make sure that all my students, kindergarten through 5th grade, their needs are met. So please don't buy into the, I don't have any money, I can't do anything. It's not true. If you work hard and you look at your resources around you and you follow what I'm going to talk about, you can do it. So I don't want to hear excuses. No excuses. You can do this, I promise. So how do you begin? Where do you begin? You do the old beg, borrow, and steal method. I couldn't find a great picture for that steal guy. All right, we'll start with beg. It's not what you think. You don't literally beg, of course. These are not literal things. You're not stealing from anybody. This is not what you think. And as a matter of fact, this beg part has probably got me more things than the borrow or the steal. So it is really an ask. And even the picture's right there. One is from the first tee. It's a golf, and it is available to, I believe, anybody in the United States. I'm not sure about elsewhere. So that's the first tee. And then below that is our bike trailer. Now, our students get to ride bikes and scooters during a week with the bike trailer. Kindergarten through 2nd grade does pedestrian safety, and we talk about bike safety. 3rd, 4th, and 5th grade gets to actually ride the bikes and ride the scooters. And it just, I mean, how many times have you ridden a bike in PE class? I mean, it's just so cool. So first of all, grants. This is where I've made a ton of money for my program. So luckily for me, we have a foundation that works with our district. So every year in September, if you attend about a 1-hour course, which is pretty much the same thing every year, but that's okay, they will give you a chance to write a grant. And this is where I've made, for my program, well over $20,000 to $25,000 in just grants. Now, some of you don't have that opportunity. I understand, but you need to check around. Get on social media if you need to. Check around for all the opportunities there are. And here's some of them. Again, the local foundation we have, there's First Tee. That was free. I got all this golf equipment for free, but I had to watch some videos, and it was a couple hours worth of videos and just go through the course. But it's all free stuff. The U.S. Tennis Association, same thing. You go through the course, and they send you some equipment. Now, the American Heart Association, if you participate still in Jump Rope for Heart or the Kids Heart Challenge, you still can get money through U.S. games, depending on how much you raise. So there's lots of opportunities just right there, just for absolute just money. Okay, so here's what I've received. Now, the $25,000 went to lots of technology, pedometers, heart rate monitors, these funky cones I'll show you in a moment. The rail yard obstacle course, which is fantastic. It's over $7,000. We got it for free. Brain Ball is our most recent one from Palos Sports. It's a bunch of basketballs with numbers and letters on them. So we do lots of literacy and math skills with the students. Regular basketballs we've gotten, and fitness equipment. So we've gotten lots of stuff from just grants, just writing grants. These are all free things. Now, asking your PTO, your principal, your IT guy or girl, parents, local sports teams and businesses. If you are in good standing with them, if you help out, like I volunteer at my school dance every year. If they ask for something, that's a PTO run. So I help out the PTO. I just volunteer when I can, and we do like a trunk or treat, and we do other things that volunteer where you can, help out, and talk to people, communicate what your needs are and what you can do for them as well. So with this local sports teams, we are lucky that in Fort Myers, Florida, we have their name's something different now, but they're the Fort Myers Miracle local minor league team, which is the Minnesota Twins training facility. Spring training's right here, so it's the Twins. It's their farm team. They're actually called the Muscle or something like that. And I forgot. They just changed their name. And the Red Sox, which is how I got to meet, and not just Jackie Bradley Jr., but we've met Dustin Pedroia and other players over the years. They're right down the street from us. So the spring training is right down the street from us. Now we have a local hockey arena that I actually work at for concerts and all these events. And but even before that, they would send out their players, and we've done spirit nights, things like that. So we have a hockey, a local hockey arena. We have 2 colleges, not super huge colleges, but local colleges that will send players. They'll send people and tickets and things like that. So here's some of the things. We do a spirit night with the hockey arena where I send out a link that they provide. It's something like $15, and $5 of those dollars goes to our PE program. Set that up with your bookkeeper. I've gotten cup stacking equipment from my principal because I just went to him and just asked him. I said, I asked him what I can do to earn more money. This is a long time ago, and he just asked me, "What do you need?" And I told him I need a cup stacking would be great to get started in our school, and he agreed. And when it benefits everybody in the school, that's a great thing. So ask for these things. Recess equipment, that's from the PTO. Playground, new things for the kids to climb on. Free tennis balls. Right next door to our school is actually where I live. It's where I'm recording right now, and I'm in good standing with the tennis instructor. And every now and then he'll just drop off just a bag of tennis balls, a big garbage bag of tennis balls that he's not using anymore. Well, I use them, and just again look for these opportunities. I've asked my principal if I can go to certain events, and it was kind of like I was a little nervous to ask, but I did ask. And at first she paid for my PE Institute trip to Asheville, North Carolina, and more recently my Shape Tampa, which is a lot closer, trip. Again, the bike trailer is free. Now I had to take a class. It's like a day class, just being trained on bike safety. So I got that. We've had players like Jackie Bradley Jr. come to our school, obviously. We've had hockey players. We've had soccer players, baseball players, softball players. We've had cheerleaders from the local college. We've had so many people come in just by asking, send out emails. So again, the college is right nearby. I even got to throw out the first pitch at a minor league baseball game, which did not go very well for me, but because the players came and then the PTO asked me to do it, it went okay, let's just say. And it was a fun experience. So here are some of the pictures of some free things just by asking. So again, we have he's Swampy is the alligator up there eating one of my paras. He is from the Florida Everblades, so that is one of the. He's come out a couple times actually and played with the kids just on a free day, a fun Friday. He's played with them. He's been jump roping with them, hula hooping. We did crab soccer when the weather wasn't great under the pavilion. So look for the kids. Just love him. The kids. He was playing goalie in our hockey game, in our pillow polo game actually. The brain ball in the middle. That is my newest grant. Again, that was free. But I wrote a grant, and when you write a grant, make it a project. They always say to make it kind of a data collecting project, which I did. So those are really neat. The kids love them, especially younger kids. So the funky cones in the far right corner, unfortunately, they died. They lasted for a couple of years, and they died. But those were light up cones. The kids could run and kind of touch them or hit them lightly, and they would light up and make noises, and that could count for points and relay races, and it was just amazing. In the bottom corner, that's actually my daughter. In the middle, in the martial arts uniform. So every year, the martial arts local dojo comes out and teaches for 8 weeks, twice a week, and they donated the uniforms. And at the end of the program, the kids get a white belt, they get a certificate, they get to break a board. And so again, these are all free things. With my IT guy, I set up I got the podium and I got to hook up a projector out of I'm outside. I got to project videos and other, whatever I need to project out there for extra learning. And he helped me set that up. So just be in good standing with your IT guy or girl. There's on the bike, when we had the bike trailer, that was when the minor league team came out for the Twins, and that is Sway on a bike. Now, how great is that? You're seeing a tree ride a bike. There's the rail yard obstacle course. Again, it's over $7,000, and we got it for free, writing a grant. And last but not least, in this section, in the bottom right-hand corner, these are fans that it's so hot out there. It is so hot in Florida in August, September, and then even towards the end of the school year in April or May. So I got to go out to a different school and check out their fans, and the PTO bought these fans for us. There's 4 of them in each corner. So these are all free things I got for my program by just asking, which is kind of the bag. All right, so secret number 1 is look for opportunities in your community and beyond. There are opportunities. They're out there. You could bring in just local people to anything, skateboard, ride bikes. I've been meaning to go to my roller skating place and see if we could rent out the equipment. There's things there. There's colleges. There's got to be a college somewhere close to you. There's got to be businesses that want to help. So look for these opportunities. They are out there. Ask the parents. A lot of these parents, they are, they're in the community. They're working these jobs, some of them. They're out there at the cool jobs, the gaming places or maybe in the college. Maybe they're working there and they can help out, get a connection there. So look for these opportunities everywhere. All right, so now we're on to the borrow. So what do we borrow? You borrow equipment, ideas, content. Here's some things. You borrow from PE teachers in your district. One of my former paras, he is at a kind of a smaller school, but he is a PE teacher there. He's been there for about 6 or 7 years. He was my para for a couple of years. We're still, good friends. We still, talk a lot. And, we could rotate equipment. We've done this quite a bit. Can I use your putters for a little bit? Sure. I'm not using them till January. Just get them back to me. And then at the same time, he'll give me baseball gloves. Not now with the COVID and things like that, but we've done things like that. He has some really cool scooters, better than mine, so we borrowed some of that when he wasn't using them. I let him borrow our parachute because I usually do parachute at the end of the year. And so, just rotate equipment based on that if you make some good connections there. So now teachers in your school, I've borrowed art things from them. I don't always have art supplies with me, so I be in good standing with your art teacher and your music teacher because I borrowed some equipment from her. There's and you borrow ideas from the teachers, and you just ask them, what are you working on? You're working on multiplication. Cool. Well, I got the brain balls. We're going to do multiplication with dribbling and scoring and shooting baskets. What kind of literacy you're working on. Talk to the teachers and borrow ideas from them. And of course, on social media, there's PDFs, there's videos. I borrow things all the time. There's games, which I'm going to show you in a little bit. Justin Schleiter, my co-host of one of my podcasts, he has a game called Schleiter Ball. But the bottom line is give credit. That's the most important thing, is give credit. During this fourth quarter COVID time inside, I borrowed so much stuff from Mike Giannicola and Kevin Tiller and Ben Perillo, and more. But you always got to give credit. Don't just say it's my stuff. Here it is, kids. Give credit. And I'll give you an example. Okay, here's some ideas and some things I borrowed over the years. Some of them seem really minor, but they add up, and you always give credit. So in the top left corner, that is just a quick one. We usually use Matt's when we do this, but that is from Jared Robinson's Balance It app. So I was on Twitter or wherever, I always give him credit because I got these ideas from him. In the middle, that is actually one of the local colleges that came out. I learned some ideas from. He's a great coach. He's not there anymore, and that's actually my son a couple years ago batting. He was giving some lessons, and he brought out all his college kids to talk to my group, my whole group. But I borrowed some ideas from him, so give him credit. Give them credit. The Plickers, Plagnets, Mike Giannicola. He is the master of Plagnets. I always tag him in any Plagnet thing I'm doing. Now, it doesn't mean no one else is doing it. And actually, I got that pattern from somebody else. I think it was Tanner Ruse. So give credit where credit is due. In the bottom left corner, you can see me with my Sammy Watkins jersey on. He's actually from Fort Myers, although he was drafted by the Bills, so it was perfect for me. At least he was on the Bills. So that is a local sports team that comes out every single year. They're a semi-pro football team called the Stingrays. I took something that the coach Chris in the middle there in the gray shirt, he has a whistle pattern he did, like the clapping pattern. And I took that and use it. I use it every year now. I use it all the time. I took that from him. The jigsaw method, that's from Dr. Ash Casey. I learned that in North Carolina at the PE Institute. Now, he didn't make up the jigsaw method. That's a Kagan method. But the way I learned it from him. So I tag him every single time I talk about jigsaw, or I put something out there with jigsaw. And finally, that's my version of Schleiter Ball. It looks a lot different. I used a rope, the tug-of-war rope, for my circle out in the field, and then some buckets like that to throw into. It's a fun game, but again, I give Justin credit for it because he came up with it. I just call it Carney Ball, I think. Now, here's how not to borrow. The case of the Instagram fraud. Yes, this happened to me, and I did not like this at all. I made this. It's not a big deal. This didn't take me forever to make this on Comic Life 3, but I'm a big smoothie guy. I love to make smoothies. I've actually gotten pretty good at it. I'm a pretty good smoothie maker. So I put this out there, I think around New Year's, maybe 2 years ago or 2 New Year's ago. And somebody took it and just claimed it as their own, basically. They put it out there and said, hey, everybody. I think it was actually a fitness person, not a teacher. And they were just putting it out there like it was theirs on Instagram. And I was they didn't tag me, nothing. I just happened to see it. And I asked a few of my friends, I'm like, should I call them out on this or what? And the answer was yes. Now, I did it privately. I said, hey, that's awesome that you like what I put out, but please tag me in it or ask permission. Don't claim it as your own. And they were very apologetic and everything was fine, but don't just claim something as your own if you didn't make it. So make sure if you borrow something, quote unquote, please give credit. And secret number 2 now, there's 3 secrets. Be a knuckleballer. This is from a book. I'll be talking about two of his books. There's 3 really awesome books by Austin Kleon. And I'm giving credit right now. You hear me? I'm giving credit. And this book is actually called Show Your Work. So a knuckleballer is a very rare thing in baseball, in professional baseball. There's only a handful, well, in the past, I'd say 20 years, that have been really successful. And knuckleballers, what they do, and I put out a podcast on this, is they share their secrets. They share their craft. A lot of pitchers, if you're talking about baseball, they don't want to teach you anything like the other pitchers. It's their secret how to throw a curveball or a slider or a sinker or anything they have. These are secrets to them. But a knuckleballer, they like to share their work. They like to get together. It's like a secret society, and they share what they know. So be a knuckleballer, share what you know, And, again, give credit to other people and they should give credit back to you. All right, my favorite part, steal. And yes, do it ethically. When I say steal, of course, you're not stealing anything, but you are stealing some ideas and making them your own. Again, giving credit. So, from another book of his, Steal Like an Artist, it's by Austin Kleon. Good artists copy, great artists steal. It's actually by Picasso, or credited to Picasso. But this is where I got the idea of stealing other people's work. So this is it's not word for word, not verbatim quote, but basically something like this is in the book. If you steal from one person, you are unoriginal and a thief. If you steal from everyone, you're a genius. And that's what it is. If I just steal from one person, it's like, well, that's just theft and plagiarism. But if I take a little bit from him or her, a little bit from somebody else, a little bit from somebody else, change them a little bit, change the ideas, change the games, make them your own, you look like a genius. All right, so how do you steal? So first, create a swipe file. Now, I actually do both of these. I have notebooks. Every year I teach, I have a notebook, and I just keep writing down ideas. Now, you can also do things with an app on your phone or whatever. I do that for my podcast. I just keep a simple note app, and anytime I get an idea or an idea for a game, I'll just take out my phone and put it in there because I want to make sure I don't forget. So create a file for that. Now, another thing I would say is look for inspiration everywhere. We're going to talk about that in a little bit. On TV shows, non-education books, at the store, Netflix, YouTube, really anywhere. Put a PE spin on everything. Think of how you can do this in the classroom if it's something you really like. Okay, I'll give you an example, which we'll talk about in a little bit. But on The Amazing Race, I've seen a couple different games, and actually on Survivor, I've seen a couple games that I really want to use in PE, or I have used in PE because they do a lot of puzzles and different things like that. So again, I'm looking for a PE spin on them. All right, my heists. Here's some examples. Now, Chook Ball, and we'll talk about that in a little bit because that's my favorite lesson unit I ever do. In the beginning, I just used regular rebounders. And, I didn't spend the money on these $600. Again, I have $900 for a year. I'm not going to spend $500-$600 on the official Chook Ball set. Okay, and that's only with 2 rebounders. I got 4 rebounders for $200. And this goes back to the ask, by the way. One of my former paras, he was a Reebok manager, and he had connections in the area. And when he went to a local store, a sporting goods store, he made a deal with them for our school to get and I'll show you the rebounders in a little bit, to get the rebounders cheap. That's how we started Chook Ball. Cheap rebounders, 4 of them, because we have large classes, lots of classes at a time, 4 for $200. And it's been perfect. And I've upgraded since then. So, and I don't even use an official, I do now sometimes use an official Chook Ball, but it's a lot heavier. And so a lot of times I'll just use a Gator skin ball. That's Chook Ball. Do the kids know the difference? No. They don't. I mean, Chook Ball, I brought Chook Ball to our district, pretty much. Definitely to my school and to all the elementary schools around here. I'm the only one who does Chook Ball, pretty much. But I modified it. Nobody knows the difference, and it works great for us. So, Sabaki Ball. Now, if you don't know what that is, I saw it at I think, Shape Florida presentation, and I think it's really cool. It's got a kind of like a pylon in the NFL. Like a big pylon is the thing you have to knock over. And it's fairly heavy, actually. And they have a board. You have to you can rebound off the board. So I have a lot of bowling pins, just plastic bowling pins. I use a bowling pin and a rebounder, which is from Chook Ball. And that's it. That's all I need for Sabaki Ball. And, just take these examples and do what you can to add to your program. Now, Nitro Ball, that's a simple one. A ball and a tennis net. Okay, I actually did have the official Nitro Ball, but because we were on cement and not a gym floor, it got ripped up pretty bad. So I just find a ball that works and play like that. All right, Topple Ball. If you don't know what that is, it's kind of like there's like a ball on a tee, and you should protect it. So it's kind of like baseball meets, gosh, I don't even know. But it's a fun game, and we haven't played it a lot. I've always wanted to play it quite a bit, and I actually saw another version of this that can incorporate more kids at Shape Tampa, and I just kind of took their rules a little bit and modified them. But instead of buying the whole set, which is hundreds of dollars, I have a baseball tee, a flat bat that's like $10 from one of the sporting good places or catalogs, a soft volleyball, and a gator skin ball. You don't need much. You could look at these games, look them up, and just modify the equipment. Okay, spike ball. I do have spike ball sets. I have about 5 of them. I have one at home. But before that, just a hoop and a ball. That's all you need. A hoop and a tennis ball, a hoop and a basketball, hoop and whatever, volleyball. You could do these games without the actual equipment. Now, foaling, this is one of those Amazing Race ones. This is kind of neat. It's football bowling. It was really cool. So, I have pins, and I'll show you that in a minute. I have a picture of this, and poly spots and a football. And they just have to go back and forth and try to destroy all the pins, basically, using a football. This, again, the Tower of Hanoi. And now, I did see this at Shape, one of the Shape Floridas I went to. I believe it came from the Amazing Race or Survivor. I'm not positive, but I think it was Amazing Race. It's cones, poly spots, decorations, bean bags. It doesn't have to be anything fancy. And if you don't know what it is, that's okay. But the point is, look for inspiration everywhere and use what you have and make these games work. Now, anything with pin knockdown, I'll give you an example. One of my favorite ones is a Prairie Dog Pickoff that is from Joey Fife, physicaleducator.com. So I play that a lot with my students, and I learned it best from him at the PE Institute, but I'll change it up with soccer, hockey. I've used it with our big inflatable fish, things like that, or just chickens and fish. You could do anything to make these work. You're stealing ideas, but you're making your own, and you're changing it, and you're giving credit. So anything with frisbee golf, soccer golf, you don't need to buy this stuff. You got cones. I use there's these tall light poles on our track. That can be hole number 1. Just you got to hit that pole. Basketball hoops, frisbees, soccer balls, anything. These are so simple and they don't cost a lot. And my podcast with Justin, it's an ESPN style show called Around the Horn Health and Phys Ed. So that is in the middle there. So we stole that even. Now the poison dice one, this is interesting. I saw a game. It's based off the game that, I don't know if I'm even saying it right. It's called Pool Ball, Poul. And it looks like a really neat game. So the object is to knock off it's not even a cube. It's something like that. And it rolls to a certain color. So I'm like, well, wait a minute. Why don't I just add a cube to it, call it a different name, and play it a different way? So it's not that game, but it's just like it. Okay, so I took that and made that my own. Now, chook balls in the bottom there. Again, those are the old rebounders. Those are the ones we started off with. Again, I didn't pay anything for them, though. I know I said $200, but the PTO paid for it. Okay, foaling is in the middle bottom there. Again, that is football bowling. I just have spots and plastic pins, and now you could use other things for pins, too. You can use any kind of recyclable water bottles or Pepsi bottles or whatever, milk jugs. You can use those for targets. The picture with one of my favorite girls there is, again, it's like a pin knockdown game where you have to defend your pin. So just change these up using the equipment you have. In the top corner, right corner, that is actually from Palo Sports. That is a bounder. It's called Bounder Ball. It's a zone rebounder. And I actually borrowed those from them and made it my own. Those kind of things, I kind of stole the idea, used the equipment, and, made my own game. I just painted the field. I took paint. I painted the field there and made a different game. And the bottom is frisbee golf. So use cones, use frisbees. You don't need expensive equipment. You don't need to order all this stuff online that takes up half or more of your budget. Use what you have, take the ideas, and go for it. Now, secret number 3 is see your work as art. So I am the worst artist in the world. I'm not kidding you. I can't draw, paint, do anything, but I want to see my work as art. Now, well, 2 of these paintings are ridiculously famous and 3 are not, but and I'm sure you could tell the difference. However, Banksy's in the bottom corner, right corner, That was sold for 1.4 million, and then it was shredded by him, which, if you've seen that, is one of the coolest things ever. And now it's going to be at least double or triple the price of what the person paid for it. It's worth so much more. The Salvador Mundi in the middle it was sold for $450 million, the highest ever for a painting. And with taxes and fees, it's actually closer to $500 million that somebody paid for it. $500 million for a painting from Leonardo da Vinci. That's why. Now the other three, to me, are just as valuable to my program. This is artwork from our Chukball tournament we do every year, every third quarter every year, and we never had to finish it this year, which kind of stinks because everything happened. But the Fighting Chickens was from this year. The Lucky Charms, they actually won a couple years ago, and the Reapers, I just thought that was a really cool one. So to me, that is art, and it's not my art; it's my students that made this, and I'm going to tell you how I made my masterpiece with $0. Here we go. All right, with $0, here's my masterpiece that I use the beg, borrow, and steal method. In the top left-hand corner, that is the first couple of years we did it inside actually first 4 or 5 years we did it inside the cafeteria. We turned the cafeteria into an arena, and that was the best thing we've ever done. The very first time, I consider that my first masterpiece. That was incredible. Now we brought in the light up cones again. That was from the grant. Then the scoreboard, that's an app that I use on my phone. The Chukball rebounders, like I said, were paid for by the PTO, so that's all free. That in the middle is the black Chukball rebounders. Those are my upgraded ones, but I still use the old ones a little bit. There's a picture of the kids in there during the tournament. When we held it outside, outside or inside, we have DJs. Kids are DJs. And that sound system is from my music teacher. I borrowed from her. All the stuff on the bottom, that's what the kids made, or I made a little bit, actually not much, but some of it. And the metal, we made a deal with a guy who does medals. For field days, we do a sportsmanship trophy per like one per grade level for a class that has just been outstanding the whole year. We made a deal with him on that. And the medals, I don't pay anything for them. The school pays for them. It's not that expensive, and the medals are really cool, actually. So to me, my masterpiece costed $0. I used everything I just told you about, and I created the program and the thing I really look forward to the most every year. The fourth graders know, and my son's he's going to be a fifth grader this year. The fourth graders know this is their big project. Third quarter, we do Chukball. And they love it. Everybody looks forward to it. I have kids come back to me that are in middle school and even starting high school now, and saying they miss it, they love it. That was one of the best things we ever did. And to me, again, that's my artwork. That's my masterpiece. $0. So my contact information is supersizephysed.com or dcarney1017@gmail.com. My Twitter and Instagram is PE_Dave1017. And here are 2 more pictures of Swampy with our mascot Webster, and there's Sway the tree posing with me and my kids. And they're just experiences that students will love. They'll never forget these experiences. Again, I pulled my children out of class to get a picture with the tree, and it's something that they're never going to forget. And I welcome you to let me know how you're doing with this. I want to see what you do with this. The beg, borrow, and steal method, bootstrapping your program. Please contact me if you have any questions. And I thank you so much for tuning in. Take care.
Thank you for watching this session from EPEW 2020. We're saving the next few minutes for you to ask those final questions before we log off. If you have any questions afterwards, please reach out to the presenter or send a message to EPEW through our website.
Don't forget that we have more amazing sessions going on. Head over to our website, epew-cp.weebly.com, and look for the virtual EPEW 2020 tab.
You can also access the presentations on YouTube by typing in the hashtag EPEW 2020.
We'd like to thank the amazing EPEW committee for all their hard work over this past year. This event would not have been possible without their dedication, commitment, and volunteering their time to providing high-quality professional development.
Don't forget about our other events like our socials and share times. Links can be found on our website.
Remember our motto for EPEW, come to learn, leave as family. Thank you for joining our family today.